Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Blackbird. Welcome to my channel. Please give me a like while you come in to hear this story about Matthew McConaughey. Like, share the story, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button, subscribe, and leave me an emoji or a comment in the comment section. That will help me out so much, you guys, and thank you in advance. So I'm back on the Daily Mail because I saw something about Matthew McConaughey that I wanted to share with you guys. You know, this is very prevalent in the whole world. So many people have gone through this and they don't talk about it. They don't heal. They put it in the back of their minds and they just keep going on with life. And at some point, it will come back to haunt you if you don't get therapy, if you don't heal, if you don't talk about it. And talking about it actually helps other people feel that it is okay that it happened to you. Not that it's okay that it happened, but it's okay because it's not your fault. It's the fault of the person who perpetrated this action and the person who was bold and evil enough to do this to a child. What I'm talking about is molestation. So Matthew McConaughey came out and he said that he refuses to let someone blackmail him. So Matthew McConaughey says he refuses to let being blackmailed into sex as a teenager or being molested by a man beat him. So he came out and he's fighting. Matthew McConaughey has said he refused to let being blackmailed into having sex when he was 15 and drugged and molested by a man when he was 18 beat him. The Dallas Buyers Club star 52 previously shared the harrowing accounts in his autobiography, Green Lights, and has now detailed the conversations he had with his father that informed him that this was not how anyone should be treated. Speaking on Amanda de Cadennet's The Conversation about the Men podcast, he said of his parents' lessons on sexual intimacy and respect, "Well, I had been taught, been guided by my parents about respect for a woman, respect for the relationship, respect for sexual intimacy, respect for space. My dad had always had this thing when he taught us the birds and the bees. He sat me down talking the birds and the bees. You're getting that age you kiss?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Well, it's going to go further than that one day. It's probably going to go to where you're going to get intimate and there's going to be the breast and there's going to be the below the belt." I'm paraphrasing. And he goes, "It's going to happen to you as well." Recalling being taught about sexual consent, he continued. And so he goes, and he's talking to me. He says, "Son, as a male in the situation, speaking to me about a heterosexual relationship, if you ever feel the girl, the female, hesitate, stop." He even said this. He goes, "You may even feel them hesitate, and then after you stop, they may go, 'Oh, no, come on.' Don't. Wait till the next time." And he was right. I got in certain senses where it was like, no, okay, I'm out. And saying, "Okay, cool, I'm out." So his father told him, if a girl hesitates or if you feel like she's not completely with it, stop. Even if she says, "Come on," still stop. And that was wisdom right there, you guys, to teach his son that, because that is why so many people claim that they have been R-worded, because they get into situations with guys and they don't say stop. They don't say no. And or they think they're just going to be kissed, and next thing you know, they're ripping off your jeans. There are animals that do that, but his father taught him the right way, the right thing to do. The actor was still able to have some healthy sexual relationships with girls that weren't ugly after the blackmailing. He went on, but I was very clear again. That was not right. That was not cool. That was not the way it is. He's talking about being blackmailed. After that, I got to have some healthy sexual relationships and have girls that I liked and liked me. And we slowly got intimate, and it was beautiful and clumsy and all those things, but it wasn't ugly like that was. His father, James, passed away in 1992, aged 63, when the actor was still in his early 20s. When Matthew was molested a few years later, he said he didn't connect the two experiences. The actor revealed he was molested as a teenager by another man in his memoir. Matthew wrote about the horrific incident in which he was knocked unconscious by his male assailant when he was 18 and assaulted. You guys, I just can't imagine being assaulted as a man. I mean, it is just unimaginable that a young man of any age, a man of any age, another man doing this to you, as a woman being assaulted, and yes, I can speak from experience. It is degrading, demoralizing. It puts fear in you, and it changes your life forever. So it's just so hard to think about a man being abused by another man, being assaulted in that way, being penetrated by another man. A straight man. Matthew McConaughey is a straight man, and he had this happen to him. It breaks my heart. And before I finish reading this, I don't know what happens after this because I'm reading it in real time with you guys. But I hope whoever did this, I hope he went to prison. So let's continue with the article. The Dallas Buyers Club star adds that he was in the back of a van when the attack happened. The Gold Star hasn't had therapy, but said the people around him have helped him deal with the trauma. Matthew vowed to himself to never let the abuse he experienced in his adolescence make him afraid of relationships or stop him from trusting others. He said, "I'm not going to be afraid of relationships because my first experience was blackmail." That's an aberration. No, that's not the way it is. And if I go on and I'm not gonna let it beat me, I'm going. I don't know what he's saying, you guys. It sounds like rambling. I'm not gonna let that beat my sense of trust in people and say, no, I can have a relationship, a healthy relationship, non-negotiable. He added, happened. Am I denying it happened? No, I'm not denying that it happened. Ugly. I still get, even telling you this story, I get, but am I going to carry that? I chose non-negotiably. I'm not going to carry that. Bring that baggage into the life I'm going to lead, and how I treat people, and how I trust people, and how I look at circumstances and the risk I may take. Matthew's 304-page memoir, Green Lights, hit shelves on October 20th, 2021, and he detailed the two incidents in his book. Following the book's release, Matthew spoke about why he felt it wasn't constructive to go into detail about the sexual assaults. Ultimately, there's nothing that I feel is constructive about the details, he said on the Tamron Hall show. I feel like those details, unless I had a really good constructive way that I saw it that could be relatable to other people, I felt like those details could have just been grabbed and reported for voyeurism. He said he didn't want to exploit his trauma because then every headline and every TV show would focus on his victimization. I understand that. I wrote also in the book, I've never felt like a victim, the gentleman action star explained. Yes, I was victimized in those two situations, sure. But that doesn't mean that I've carried on through my life the feeling of, oh, I was victimized, or oh, I was a victim, or that those two unfortunate events have turned me into the man that I am, or are even an excuse. Matthew continued. Those two events happened to me at 15 and 18. If they would have happened to me younger, maybe I would have been more confused. But when they happened to me, it was very clear to me that they were wrong, that they were not ideal, that they were not how it's supposed to be. He said, believed having that clarity was why those situations didn't stick with him, confuse him, or leave him with a non-realistic view of the way the world was supposed to work. His book was the first time that Matthew had spoken in public about either incident, but his has shown his support for sexual assault charities in the past. Again, I don't know who's writing these articles, but they are poorly written. There's words, I'm not going to complain. Let me just continue. He was born and raised in Texas, attending the University of Texas in Austin. In 2019, he joined the university as an acting professor, but had previously offered his support in helping their efforts to eradicate on-campus sexual assault. In 2006, he became involved in the university's rape elimination program by helping to shuttle students home after dark. He was pictured driving a buggy around campus to bring everyone back safely. Matthew now has 3 children, daughter Vita, 12, and sons Levi, 14, and Livingston, 9, with his wife of 8 years, Camila Alves. Matthew originally met the Brazilian-born model 40 at Hollywood hotspot Hyde back in 2006. Wow, you guys. You would look at, I looked at Matthew McConaughey, and I always, thought that he was just perfect. Like, his life seemed perfect of everything that you've ever read about him. Coming from a small Texas town, you know that he was from Uvalde, where the shooting happened. It was this year. And he came from that small area and became a worldwide star. And you would have never, ever looked at him and thought that these things happened to him, that he was victimized. I know he doesn't want to call himself a victim, but he was victimized at one point. He was taken control of by being drugged. That is being victimized. And what happened to him is just horrible. And I'm so happy for him that he was able to move past all of that, and he did not become confused. And what I think, when, like he said, if it would have happened to him when he was a young boy, maybe he would have become confused in the world, because so many young men who are molested or R-worded when they're young, they live in the gay lifestyle because they are confused. We see this all the time. I know when I went to college, I was friends with so many gay guys because we were all in the medical field together. We were, studying together, and we became very close. It was myself and 3 gay guys and 2 other young women. And we had our little group. We competed for the best grades. And not to brag on myself, but many of the times my friend, another female, and I, we had the top grades. So anyway, back to the story. They began sharing we all shared about things that happened to us in our lives. That's how close we became. And all three of them had been molested by someone they were supposed to trust. And the thing about it is, one was molested by his uncle for 3 years, starting when he was 5 years old. And another one by his grandfather. So I understand what he says by being confused if it would have happened to him when he was a child. But because he had already grown and he was already, stable and self-assured about his sexuality, it did not budge him from being attracted to women. And it is disgusting. I don't know. It did not go into detail about what happened to the assailant, but I hope that he went to prison because that's where he belongs. And so just a sad, sad, sad thing that happened to him, but he came through it, you guys. And just know, I'm speaking from experience. Anybody that this happens to, you can come out on the other side and still be strong. It will make you start to look at everyone and their motives, believe me. And always follow your gut. Whenever you think that a person isn't trustworthy, don't trust them. But stay safe, you guys. I just wanted to bring this story to you. And if this has ever happened to any of you, be strong, be safe, and keep making it through. All right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. See you there.